Hey, yeah, in my last video, I showed you how to get into one of these Lockwood ASSA ABLOY dial combination locks if you have the proper tools, a proper shim that you get from a locksmith shop or lock picking shop, something like that. A cheap one won't do because it's got tight tolerances. But in this video, we're going to try and decode this combination. First, let me open it up. Okay, I had just gone down to the shops and bought this, so I don't know what the combination is, and the combination's printed on the back. I'm going to try and show you a technique, which it still takes a while, but if you get used to it, it shouldn't take too long. We're going to use several shortcuts. The first thing I have to tell you is we're going to try and find the third number first, the third number for the correct combination. So you notice if, the dial turns, but if I pull up on the shackle enough, it gets stuck into gaps or gates, and this gates, I can wiggle left to right. And what I'm doing here, in these gates, it doesn't want to come out of that gate when I turn left and right when I've got tension. So what I'm doing is I'm releasing tension, turning it a bit, pulling up again, and it should, if I turn it enough, pull it up again, and I should be able to turn it into the next gate. And it doesn't want to come out of that unless I release tension, turn it a bit, pull it up, and it should click into the next gate. And I can keep on this process of releasing tension, pulling up, and turning, and I can find all the gates, and there's 12 of them on these locks. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a gate that is going to be the easiest to turn. Let me show you what I mean. The first one's about 0. If I pull up really hard on the shackle, it's really tough to turn this left to right. I can still turn it, but it's got a lot of resistance. So I let go, turn it a bit, pull up, find the next gate, and if I pull up harder, it's tight. Let go, pull up, next one, tight. Okay, now this one, this is loose. This is quite loose. Like I'm pulling it really hard and it just doesn't tighten up at all. It's just so loose. So it's the only one in this lock that'll be this loose, and it'll be our third number. The third number, the third correct combination number. So we know that the correct combination is going to be something, something, and then should we call this 10? And what we're going to do, we're going to get a piece of paper and start writing things down. Okay, we're going to write down that 10. And we're going to let go of the tension, turn it a bit, pull up, find the next gate. Okay, we're not trying to pull up very hard because we already know that that's the only one, the easy one, that's the third number. What I'm going to do is write down the 12 gates approximately. Okay, so what are we going to call this one? 14. It doesn't need to be super accurate because these gates actually go up by 3 and a third. But we're just writing them down so that we know where we're up to, so we don't lose track. So that's about 17, about 20, seven, and then back to 10, which is the loose one. Okay, so at least we know the combination is something, something, 10. We're going to start at 10 as our first number. We're going to guess that 10 is our first number. Let's pretend that the correct combination is, let's say, 10, 14, 10. How you open one of these locks when you know the correct number, you turn it several times to the right, and this will reset the internal wheels. And you stop at your first number after turning it several full turns to the right, You stop at your first number, we're pretending it's 10, then one full turn to the left, past 10, to our second number, which we're pretending it's 14, and then left without a full turn, back to the third number. And if it's the correct number, it'll open, but this doesn't open because it's not the correct number. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to try each of those 12 first positions starting at 10, and we should be able to get it open before going through all of them, hopefully. So several turns to the right to reset the internal wheels. We're going to start on 10, and I'm also, with this method, going to pull up, go wiggle, wiggle, left to right, and let go, one full turn to the left, past 10, and I'm going to start going through all these numbers. I'm going to try 14, and back to 10, and I'm pulling up. It doesn't work. Notice how I'm wiggling, pulling up and wiggling on each one I test. Otherwise, this method might not work. Okay, you can reset the lock several turns to the right and do the next one. We're going to do 10, 17, 10, but I know how the internal wheels work, and I know as long as I've done things properly and reset it to begin with, I could just carry on to the next number from here. 17, 10, no, 20, 10, no, next one, 24, 10, and notice I'm lifting up each time I'm lifting up and doing that wiggle test. So wiggle, 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 10, wiggle, wiggle, and I'm up to 30, wiggle, wiggle, 10, 34, wiggle, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. Okay, so we've gone through all the second numbers and it didn't open, so we know that 10 is not our first number. Okay, so now we reset the internal wheels by turning several full turns to the right. I'm going to stop on the next one, which is 14. Pull up and wiggle, wiggle, right? And then one full turn to the left. Past 14 to our next one, 17. Why didn't I test 14, 14, like 14, 14, 10? Because you're not allowed two numbers that are the same in a row. You can have this 10 and this 10, but you can't have these two numbers the same, and you can't have these two numbers the same. So I went 14, 17 is our second number, 10. No. And then I go to 20 is our second number, pull up, wiggle, wiggle, 10. 24 is our second number, wiggle, wiggle, no. 27, wiggle, wiggle, 10. I've got pretty good at being able to release tension and pull up tension when I need to. I've got pretty fast at it. 30, 10, and I'm releasing tension when I'm going to the next numbers, 34, and then only then pull up and wiggle, wiggle, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, Okay, see how I went too far? And I went to go to 7, I've gone too far. If you stuff up and go too far, well, we know where we're up to. We just reset the internal wheels, go to our first number we were testing was 14, lift up, wiggle, wiggle, all the way around, past that to 7 we were testing, weren't we? Wiggle, wiggle, and back to 10. Okay, so we've gone through all the second numbers for 14 being the first number, and so we know, because it didn't open, first number's not 14. Okay, so it's good that we've written this down so we know where we're up to. If you're getting sore fingers, or just if your brain's getting tired, take a break, come back to it, because we know what we're up to. We're up to the first number as 17, so several turns to the right. Going to go to 17, several turns to the right, stopping on, oops, I went past, keep turning to the right, 17, lift up, wiggle, wiggle. Remember, if you don't do this wiggle, wiggle, then this method may not work. Even though you don't wiggle when you enter in the correct combination for these locks, we're only doing the wiggle for this method to try and decode it. So 17, one full turn the other way past 17 to the next number 20, and then to our third number 10, because the third number is always going to be 10 because we know what the third number is, and then 24, 10, 27, 10, 30, 10, 34, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. Okay, so we know that 17 is not the first number. I'm only going all the way around back to 10 again as the second number to try. I'm not going past. It's possible that it could be past, but this method is assuming that I don't have to go past 10 when trying the second number. So several turns to the right, stop on 20, go past 20 to our next one, 24, 10, 27, 10, 30, 10, 34, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. I'm not going to go past it again. I've tried all the second numbers, so we know 20 is not the first number. Up to 24 as our first number. Several turns to the right, reset that, and those internal wheels, stop at 24, lift up, wiggle, wiggle, all the way around, past 24 to our next one, which is 27, wiggle, wiggle, 10, 30, 10, 34, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4. Well, I went past 4, so what I'm going to do is several turns to the right, stopping at 24, because if you make a mistake, you know where you're up to. Stopping at 24, left all the way around to 24, past 24, and I was trying to test. Where was I? I forgot. It was either 4 or 7. Let's do 4. It doesn't matter if I test it again. Let me do that again for you. 24. I must be getting tired because I didn't take a break. 24, past 24 to 4 and back to 10, 7, 10. Okay, so 24 isn't our first number. So now we're going to try 27, several turns to the right, stopping on 27, wiggle, wiggle, all the way around, past 27 to 30, and then 10, 34, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. Went through all the numbers, and 27 is not the correct first number, so we're going to stop on 30. Several turns to the right, stop on 30, wiggle, wiggle, all the way around, past 30 to our next one, which is 34, 10, 37, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. Doesn't open, so 30 is not our correct number. We're going to go to 34, that's our next number. Several turns to the right, reset those internal wheels. 34. 34, background to the next one, 37, wiggle, wiggle, 10, 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10. Okay, 34 is not the correct first number. 37, 1 full turn to the left, past 37 to the next one, which is 0, 10, 4, 10, 7, 10, 37, not a correct first number. Turning the wrong way, so several turns to the right, stop at 0. I didn't wiggle it. One full turn to the left past 0 to 4, wiggle it to 10, and it opens. Okay, so it took a while. This took longer than some of them. You know, I've bought a few of these locks, and they usually only have to get up to one of these numbers before it opens. But I had to do all the way around to here, and so I can't even remember what numbers I was up to, but that's okay, because what I did was several turns to the right, and we said 0, wiggle, wiggle, and then we went right round, and let's just do it again. So 0, 4, 10, yep, okay. So the correct number is 0, 4, 10. It's the correct number with our wiggle method, but let me lock that up again. It's hard to close. If we dial in this combination properly without wiggling, if we turn all the way to the left several times, stop on our first number, 0, 1 full, turn to the left past 0 to 4, and then go to 10. Now this may or may not open because we didn't wiggle it, and it opens, which is great. But if it doesn't, just try numbers either side of the first and second number. This 10 will always be correct, but just try numbers either side. And if we turn over the lock, we can see they've printed 1, 5, 10. So yeah, it was just 1 away for each of these ones. But because of the tolerances of this lock, this one still would open the lock. And that's how you decode one of these locks. And you need to be a bit of a patient person to be able to use this method. As you see, it took quite a while. Usually I can get into them a lot faster. As I said, I just try a few. I just get up to, you know, a few of them up the top, and it opens. But in this one, I nearly had to go all the way to the end. As I was going to the end, things were getting faster, because the second number I didn't have to go past 10, as I said. And if you do all of this and it still doesn't work, instead of using these gates, you might have to use every second number. So you would write down, you know, 0, 2, 4, 6, and you would keep on testing every second number for the first and second number. And good luck with that, because that is going to take a long time. Anyway, that's a method that I've used to get into about 6 of these locks, and it seems to work well. Thanks.